If you send an apology card to the doctor whom you have sued in a medical malpractice lawsuit, will the doctor and his attorney use that apology card against you as your case goes through the litigation and all the way to trial? Would you like to learn the answer? Come join me for a walk on the beach as I share with you the answer to that question. Hi, I'm Gerry Oginski. I'm a New York medical malpractice and personal injury attorney. The answer is yes. The defense and the doctor are going to use that apology card against you to show to a jury, to show to your attorney that, hey, you not only feel so bad about suing him, but there's no reason whatsoever for why you sued him, and you don't have a medical justification for bringing a lawsuit against him. That's the goal for the defense. They're going to do everything possible to show that they are more likely right than wrong, that what they are claiming is true. They are going to argue that the doctor did nothing wrong. They are going to argue that whatever the doctor did not cause or contribute to your injuries. They are also going to argue that if the doctor did cause you harm, guess what? Your injuries really are not as bad as you claim them to be. Those are the typical defenses we see in these medical malpractice cases in New York. So now, you suffered significant harm and injury following medical care and treatment by your doctor. You felt horrible. The doctor refused to take accountability and accept responsibility for the injuries that you suffered. He never apologized. He never admitted that he did something wrong. Now, you go to an attorney reviews your medical records. He has your records reviewed by a medical expert who confirms that yes, your doctor violated the basic standards of medical care. And as a direct result of those violations from the standard of care, you suffered significant permanent harm and injury. So now, your attorney goes ahead and starts a lawsuit on your behalf, simply because your doctor refused to accept responsibility for his actions. Okay, you loved your doctor before any of this occurred. You trusted your doctor with your life. You put your life in this doctor's hands, and you liked him. You liked him as a person. You liked him as a physician. You expected he would do the right thing. And even though you suffered these terrible injuries, in your mind, you still like him. You think you can forgive him. You know it may not have been totally his fault. At least that's your perception. You say to yourself, this is God's will, this is God's way. Well, guess what? No, it's not God's way that the doctor violated the basic standards of medical care, that the doctor was careless at a particular date and at a particular time. That is not God's way. God's way would be, yes, this doctor was careful, did what he was supposed to do. There are instances, however, where even in the best of circumstances, the doctor doing every single thing appropriately and properly, there are some instances where the patient can still go ahead and suffer various complications or problems. But that's not what I'm talking about here. In this instance, I have a medical expert who has confirmed that the treatment you received fell below the standard of care. And as a direct result of that, you suffered significant harm and injury. Despite all that, and knowing that a lawsuit has been started on your behalf with your permission, with your consent, you feel so bad and feel so guilty that you have had to sue the doctor. You believe that suing the doctor may not be morally wrong, but it's just not really within your heart. And you're now questioning and doubting whether or not this was the right step for you. And in your haste, as you're going through this guilt phase, you decide to write a letter to the doctor. You go to the store, you get a beautiful Hallmark card that says, I'm sorry. And in it, you write a heartfelt apology to the doctor, basically saying, look, I understand you did your best. I understand you did what you were supposed to do. And my complications, the problems I had, were unavoidable. I recognize that, and I forgive you. I forgive you, doctor. I still love you, and I hope you'll take me back as a patient. And now, you put that card in the envelope, you address it to the doctor's office, you put a stamp on it, and you put it in the mailbox. Now, your doctor gets this card, he opens it up, and he can't believe what he's reading. He is shocked. He can't believe that you, the patient who has sued him, has now come right out and apologized for going ahead and suing him, for forgiving him for what actually happened. He immediately makes a copy of it and sends it off to his lawyer who represents him in your medical malpractice case. His attorney opens up the letter, reads it, and is shocked to see that you, the patient, have now apologized for exactly bringing this lawsuit, claiming that all the injuries that you suffered are really not his fault. So do you think that the defense attorney is going to use this letter against you? Do you think that they're going to question you? during the course of your pretrial deposition, your question and answer session, that lawyers also call an examination before trial? The answer most definitely is yes. The defense lawyer is going to ask you many, many questions about this apology letter. They are going to get you to admit that you did this of your own free will, that nobody forced you to do this. They may even try and get you to say that it was the attorney who coerced you to go ahead and start this lawsuit, despite the fact that you had these beliefs and these feelings that the doctor did nothing wrong. In that instance, that's going to create a substantial problem, a credibility problem, and a legal problem for you and your case. Now, if you truly believe that you have no interest bringing a case, then you should tell the attorney that up front. Don't second guess yourself. Don't go ahead and take these actions where now you are jeopardizing and sinking and torpedoing your own case because you had a heartfelt episode of guilt, racked with guilt, and you feel you can't live with yourself. Pick up the phone and call your attorney and ask your attorney whether this is a good idea. Ask your attorney whether it's possible, in your instance, to drop the case at this point. See what he has to say. Talk it out with the attorney before you decide to go ahead and send that apology letter. Look, no one's saying you can't be thoughtful, you can't be remorseful, you can't forgive somebody for doing something that they truly didn't intend harm, but because of their carelessness did cause you harm. And the real question you have to ask yourself is, okay, now that you are permanently disabled and you have all these complications and will need medical care and treatment for the foreseeable future, for the rest of your life, who's going to pay for all of those things? Who's going to help your family sustain and put food on your table, put your kids through college if you can't work? The doctor's not going to accept responsibility. And if a medical expert confirms that there is no basis for a case, that's the end of it. And now you decide, okay, not to proceed any further. You're not going to get another opinion. You're not going to go to another attorney. That's within your realm and something that you can do. However, to torpedo your own case, to send off a heartfelt letter apologizing to the doctor, I guarantee you that that will be the centerpiece of their defense, claiming to the jury when your case goes to trial, ladies and gentlemen, why are we here? I'm going to show you a letter written by this injured patient who forgave this doctor, who truly believes that the injuries she suffered are not because of any wrongdoing by the doctor, but that this was God's intervention. This was divine being who decided this is what would happen. In that instance, your apology letter will torpedo and destroy your entire case. So why do I share this information with you? I share it with you because this does happen occasionally from time to time. And I wanted to open your eyes to the possibility that this could occur. You know, I realize you're likely watching this video because you have questions or concerns about your own matter. Well, if your matter did happen in New York and you're thinking about bringing a lawsuit, but haven't done so yet because you still have questions that need to be answered, what I invite you to do is pick up the phone and call me. You know, I answer questions like yours every single day and I'd love to chat with you. You can reach me at 516-487-8207 or by email at Gerry, Gerry, at Oginski-law.com. That's it for today's video. I'm Gerry Oginski. Have a wonderful day.